Hey everybody, I'm David Ritchey and I'm a principal here in Lamesa Independent School District. When Hayden and Logan, my two sons, were young, I read them a story every night before they went to sleep. Sometimes I made up those stories. And one of those stories I eventually wrote down so that they could remember it as they got older. That's the story I'm going to read to y'all today. And it has no name. So we'll just call it The Awesome Story by Coach Ritchey. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Hayden. He had so many superpowers, they called him a superhero. One night, he got a call from Commissioner Daddy. The Joker has stolen the entire city. What? Hayden asked. Then he looked into the mirror and he said, "This is a job for super Haydenator." For those that don't know Hayden, that's him. A long time ago. He flew downtown, well, what used to be downtown, because remember it got stolen, and there was the Joker with all his henchmen. Hayden thought, this'll be a piece of strawberry shortcake. But then he heard a rumbling sound. The earth trembled, and up from the ground came a... Meanwhile, halfway across the globe, Hayden's super brother, Logan, was practicing his ninja skills. He had just done his best move, the fog of defeat. Use your imagination. When he saw the news flash, the city has been destroyed or stolen. And that's Logan when he was little. Logan, known in the East as the man with powerful powers of power, jumped off his toot-ridden sparring partner. "I must go! My brother needs my help!" He leaped into the air, clenched his fist, and said, "Power toot!" A lightning bolt flashed from his bottom as he reached light speed. When he slowed down, he saw the Joker with all his henchmen. Logan thought this will be a piece of chocolate and vanilla birthday cake. But then he heard a rumbling sound. The earth trembled, and up from the ground came a... Meanwhile, Daddy was asleep on the plane, flying. His super power sensitive senses hit him in the face. He leaped out of his seat and ran for the airplane's emergency exit. The stewardess said, "Sir, we're in the middle of this sky. You can't jump from here." But Dad said, "Hey, your shoes are untied." As the stewardess looked down, he leaped from the plane. He, of course, able to fly at breakneck speed, reaches what used to be downtown. He saw the Joker with all his henchmen. Daddy thought, this'll be a piece of chocolate chip banana bread surprise pudding cake. But then he heard a rumbling sound. The earth trembled, and up from the ground came a... giant robot worm frog snake electrocuting flying alien! Daddy swooped down and walloped on the head with his fist of iron. The robot, not even bothered, opened up its frog mouth and released a tongue of fire. Dad started dodging the tongue because he's super quick. It tried again and again to get him, but of course it couldn't. Suddenly, he heard a voice. "Looks like you could use some help." Logan jumped into the action and he ninja kicked the tongue into pieces and then ninja punched the electrocuting tail into 3 pieces and then he yelled, "Go away, Poco!" But the tail and the tongue hit the ground, slithered back to the robot's body and regenerated with it and made the giant robot worm frog snake electrocuting flying alien even bigger. Haydenator flew in. "Have no fear. Haydenator is here." He flew into the beast's mouth, down its throat, and into its belly. Once there, he used his ability to melt things with his eyes to melt the stomach of the monster. It became so hot, Hayden knew the alien was about to explode. So he blew ice out of his mouth and made himself a protective ice crystal inside the belly. And the monster exploded. Kaplooey! pieces going everywhere. But Hayden was not harmed. He was protected by the layers of ice he had surrounded himself with. When the explosion ended, he looked for his dad and he looked for Logan. And they were getting up off the ground after being knocked down by the explosion. "Everyone okay?" Super Hayden asked. But suddenly, they saw all the pieces of the alien starting to move towards each other. They attacked when they touched, and they attached, when they touched, and the monster started to form again. "What are we gonna do?" yelled Hayden. Suddenly he heard a voice. "What's gonna work?" It was his dad. "Teamwork!" Hayden yelled. "What's gonna work?" Dad yelled louder. "Teamwork!" Hayden and Logan yelled. Teamwork! The monster was almost fully reborn when they bounced back into action. Logan jumped on top of him and unleashed the fog of defeat. The monster could not see straight and became wobbly. Daddy then flew around the beast over and over and over to him, tangling him up. Then Hayden, running faster than any human had ever run, leaped into the air. Super duper double punch and double kick. He hit the monster so hard that it exploded again. But this time, the force of the hit knocked all the pieces into outer space, where gravity, or the lack thereof, kept the pieces from coming back together. Hayden, Logan, and Dad had defeated the monster. They walked off into the sunset. The Joker had escaped into the sewers. Ha ha ha. The end of part 1. Still working on part 2.